So which one is better when it comes to making money delivering food? Uber Eats or Domino's Pizza? Well, there's only one real way to find out, right? Hello everyone, this is Elijah with the RideShare Guy, and in this video we're going to be getting some insight on that question I asked just a few seconds ago, which is, for drivers, which one is actually better, being an Uber Eats driver or being a Domino's Pizza driver? And we can actually take being an Uber Eats driver and use that as a stand-in for the gig apps in general. So this really applies to Doordash drivers, Grubhub drivers, and other apps inside the delivery gig economy. As you probably know, you won't really know which one is better unless you have actually done both. So you've been a delivery gig worker and you've also been a Domino's pizza driver. And while I haven't personally been a Domino's pizza driver, I'm actually going to be interviewing one of our subscribers, Robert Phillips, who has been both a Uber Eats driver and a Domino's pizza driver. So he has insight on both sides of the spectrum and he can give an accurate comparison as far as the pros and the cons, and the most obvious one that you're probably wondering about, which one pays more. So with that being said, we're going to move over to the actual interview itself so we can all get some clarity on the differences and similarities between driving for Domino's and being a gig delivery driver. Okay, so we have Robert Phillips with us. He's actually a current Domino's driver. He has experience in the gig economy because he's driven for Uber Eats before and a few other apps when it comes to gig delivery. So we're pretty happy to have you on the call, Robert. And we're going to get some insight on exactly comparing like pizza delivery versus like the delivery when it comes to the gig economy, because there's probably some subtle differences that most people might not be aware of, and we want to make sure to inform our audience about both sides of the coin. When you first got started, why pizza delivery or Domino's, like instead of driving for like DoorDash or Uber Eats or these other gig economy apps that deliver food?
Well, for me, the switching over to Domino's was kind of like the COVID pivot. I'd been doing Lyft and Uber and going full steam ahead. And in 2 days, it went to crickets down here. I'm right next to Gulf Shores and Orange Beach. So I went from full spring break to, all right, what am I going to do and how long is this going to last? There I went, and pretty quickly I was doing about 50 hours a week at Domino's because they were booming. Most of the time I wasn't real impressed with Uber Eats for the amount that they were paying as compared to when I had passengers. But yes, I had agreed to do it, and sometimes it worked out fine.
So when it comes to, I know people want to probably hear this the most, but like when it comes to the pay, like what was different? Was it a big difference in pay from like when you drove for Uber Eats and DoorDash and now you're driving for Domino's, or was it about the same?
Now, it was pretty similar. The biggest difference is that, well, with all the gigs and all that, I could keep track of my mileage and write off at the IRS standard deduction, which is essentially putting a whole lot of tax-free money in my pocket that is taxable when you're a pizza driver, because they were only paying $1.50 per delivery as far as quote for my vehicle.
So you're saying there were some expenses, advantages to being a gig worker versus driving with a pizza delivery?
Well, correct, because most of the days I'd have $100 or more worth of cash in my pocket, but then I have to take the Social Security and Medicare out of that, and I don't get a write off my gas and those things. Well, not
Gotcha.
gas, but I mean the 55, 57 cents a mile, depending on the year.
Standard
That's
mileage deduction.
reducing of taxable income.
So overall, what would make you pick? And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like you prefer like driving for Domino's Pizza over like the gig apps like Uber Eats and just delivery. It's talking about delivery, but like Uber Eats, DoorDash, etc. What makes you prefer that over the gig apps, or do you prefer the gig apps? I'm not sure.
The biggest difference for me is that I was actually working regular time shifts, or I would tell them that they can call me if they got really busy, as compared to just being able to flip on my app and then look at it and, oh, I don't want to do that one because it's not going to be profitable. with Domino's, you get sent to wherever, and it might be 15 miles round trip for my delivery, and I'm generally lucky if I get more than a $5 to $7 tip for that.
So I would say that's a good place to conclude the interview. We definitely appreciate you coming on, Robert. And for those of y'all in the comments section, let us know what you think about this. And also, do you have experience driving for Domino's or any of the pizza delivery services? And also, if you've been driving for Uber, UberEats, Doordash, etc., how do you feel this compares based on this interview? We'd love to hear what y'all think about that in the comment section below. We appreciate you giving us your time, Robert, and you take it easy.
Well, thanks for chatting with me. It was interesting.